of you. We are doing Shankara's Atma Bodha, self-knowledge. We are in verse 21 review. Due to ignorance of not knowing oneself, the self, the jiva, the individual, the reflected consciousness has superimposed the three gunas on that Atman. A form on that arubam, which has no rubam, no form, on the formless. All the sorrows and sufferings and sadness on that existent consciousness bliss. That is happiness itself. But we have, jiva have superimposed all the sufferings. Death on it, which is ever existent. Atma is unattached, unmodified, amalam, without any gunas. Jiva, we have covered it all with anatma. That atma is covered completely, like a brass pot is completely get oxidized. Just like the sky appears blue, he gives an example. The ocean appears blue, when in fact they have no colors. So also atma is nirguna, without any attributes. You cannot pinpoint this is atma or that is atma. It's indescribable, it has no form. If you have a form, it gets limited. It is all pervasive. That's verse 21. 22, humans always say, I did this, I accomplished this, I achieved that. And here this I refers to the mind, body, intellect. Atma is the witness, akarta, abhokta, neither the doer nor the enjoyer. It appears to be acting, performing, due to apparent association with the mind. There is no actual association, it is apparent. Only a pure, clear mind, without likes and dislikes, alone can realize that presence. Just like the moon's reflection is in the water, especially when the water is shaking, the ripples in the water, but the moon appears to be shaking when moon is still. So also Atma is still. It's neither the doer nor the enjoyer. The mind is always agitated, different emotions and thoughts. And those things are preventing us from realizing, recognizing that Atman. Atman is the witness consciousness. One alone is, that alone is. We have seen in that 1 minute meditation in the early class that we observe the mind. We are the seer of the body and the mind. That is Atman. That is Sakshi, witness consciousness. Verse 23, Raga Icha Sukha Dukkadi Buddha Satyam Pravartate. Sushupti Nasti Tannashe Tasmat Buddheshu Natmana. That is verse 23. He says, Atman is different apart from the three states of existence, waking, dream state, and deep sleep state. Atma is the generator, operator, dissolver. That is the acronym for God. Generator, operator, dissolver. In the waking state, the body and mind both operates. In the dream state, the body, the senses, all the five senses, they all dissolve. Layam in Sanskrit. They all dissolve. Not operative, not functional, but the mind is active. But the mind has nothing to interpret because all the gates are closed, 5 gates are closed. So nothing is coming in, the mind has nothing to interpret. So what the mind does is, it tries to bring back, recalls the information. That is the impressions we call vasanas, subconscious mind, whatever is there, it tries to bring back. That is the dream state. So in deep sleep state, both the body and the mind dissolves. Only the witness of the total absence of the world, body and mind, the seer of complete darkness alone is. That darkness is ignorance. At that point, every jiva is completely ignorant of the world or the self, both ignorant of Atman and Anatman. All the emotions, guilt, anger, fear, worry, are all during the waking state and dream state and are of the mind. In deep sleep state, everyone experiences the same joy. They call it joyless joy. You neither know the universe, nor the body, or the mind. A severe thunderstorm could occur, but you will not know what is happening outside. That Atman is the witness of waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. It is Nityam, ever present, is neither born nor dies, without any attachment. That witness is you, Tattvam Asi. Remember that. Now we go to verse 24. Just like the brightness of the sun, that is the nature of the sun, brightness. Nature is essence, natural characteristic in the absence of which it doesn't exist. Say we say sugar is sweet. Once you take out the sweetness, it's no longer sugar. The nature of sugar is sweet. The coolness is the nature of water. Heat is the nature of fire. Brightness is the nature of sun. So also the nature of that Atman is existence, consciousness, bliss. Existence is the isness. Anything that is existence. Anything that exists is because of that existence. So that is existence. Then we go to, that is in Sanskrit, it is called Sat, Trikale. Trikale means not past, present, and future. Just like the snake. Snake didn't disappear, but the knowledge of rope was realized. Once the knowledge of rope is realized, snake automatically merges with the rope. It is rope alone. Snake was never there. Similarly, with this self-knowledge, Brahma Vidya, the universe does not disappear, but Brahman alone is seen in all appearances. All appearances are the combination of 5 elements, but without knowledge. They do not know I exist. None of them know that, including this body and mind. Only Atma is knowledge, Chit, Chaitanyam, consciousness with a capital C, awareness with a capital A. Not conscious of, aware of. That is of the mind intellect. It is Anandam, bliss. We saw Sat, we saw Chit, now it is bliss. Bliss is not the pleasure from objects outside. Atma is absolute bliss, happiness itself. There is no second to this happiness. There is only one Atma. For any number of births this Sukshma Sharira can take, there's only one Atma in all those embodiments. It pierces through all appearances like the thread in a bead necklace or a thread in a cloth. The activities of the body, senses, mind, intellect, universe are all of the body and mind. They are all inert. None of them know that I exist. But the mind is absolutely necessary to grasp what is heard, to analyze, to question, clarify, convince the intellect. Mind is necessary for realization, just like pole vault. When the 5 senses go outside, we get the light, we get the vibration, the light waves of that object that appears in the mind. The objects the light waves and the mind, all are in it. The illumining consciousness reflects in the mind. That is called Ahankara Chaitanya. Sakshi Chaitanya is the illumining consciousness. Ahankara Chaitanya is the reflected consciousness. This reflected consciousness illumines the light wave, and that is in the mind, and that light wave glitters, glows, shines. That is the origination of I. That I, Jivan, without knowing the difference between the reflected consciousness and the illumining consciousness, says, I know. I is not this reflected consciousness. That is ignorance, avidya, ajnanam. Witness consciousness is akarta, abhokta, does not do anything. Its presence makes others work. You are that. You are not the doer. You are not the enjoyer. You are just that illumining consciousness. Verse 26, Shankara repeats verse 25 for emphasis and clarification so the receiver can recall it clearly. Atma, the witness consciousness, has no vibrations, no light waves, that alone is. Mind has no knowledge. Mind is inert. Not realizing I am that witness consciousness, Jiva says, I know, I see, I have accomplished, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am suffering. All this is caught in samsara, cycle of birth and death, sufferings and sorrows and struggles. Atma, you do not do anything. Due to ignorance, this Atma, witness consciousness, and the mind are entangled, referred as Pratibhasika Chaitanya. Jiva is like just going round and round. It's a rat race. The witness consciousness is always shining, even in a dead body, but there is no mind to illumine. The 5 gates are closed. The equipment is not functional. Electricity is still there, but the bulb is fused. When we say, I know, I have discovered, I have invented this or that, we are in the midst of ignorance. Of course, scientists have seen that they find out new planet on very often. We discovered a planet. But who is the seer? They don't know the seer. They talk about the objects that are visible. And they follow the crooked path like a blind leading a blind, birth and death. I am not limited. I am all pervasive. I am all powerful. Sarva Shaktiman. There is no you, therefore there is no I. One alone is. That is 26. Now we go to verse 27. We are starting from 27. We stopped at 26 last time. So 27 is Rajju Sarpavat Atmanam Jivan Nyatva Bhayam Bhahet. Na aham jivaha paramatma iti Nyatva Chet Nirbhayo Bhavet. Once we accept ourselves as jiva, we get the emotion fear because we see the second. We limit ourselves and the second one appears. Then we are angry, we are upset, we are worried, we love. Everything happens in the presence of the second. Na aham jivaha. I am not this jiva or individual. Paramartha iti jnatva chet. That is, upon realization that I am that supreme Paramatma, nirbhayo bhavet, one becomes the fearless. That is the biggest benefit of Vedanta. When you see the snake, the emotion of fear takes over. Upon realizing the rope, the fear dissipates. Similarly, Atma is seen as Jiva Atma is seen as Jiva, is afraid. Upon realization, one becomes fearless. That Atma is nirbhaya, fearless. But because of misidentification, due to ignorance, individual is afraid and is afraid of something that that is imaginary. Imaginary snake makes us feel fearful. So we are afraid of that imaginary which doesn't even exist. And only way to get out of that fear is to know it is a rope. Brahman alone is. Once we know Brahman, the only one is there. Na aham jivavaha, I am not the jiva. Not knowing that I am total bliss, happiness, all-pervasive knowledge. Jiva identifies with this body. This was my birthday. One day I'm going to die. Restrained by time. Ever present. Atma is ever present. I'm here in Utah or Boston, India, limited by space. I'm all pervasive. When in fact, I have no birth and I have no death. The jiva experiences a samsara because of this misidentification. All the sorrows and struggles and sufferings follow. Only way out of this is Shastra, Acharya, Upadesha, Vashat. Through scriptures and Guru, learn that I am not this jiva, but I am that Nirguna Brahman. Guru is Stotranyan Brahmanishtan. That's what scripture says. Stotranyan is the one that has learned Shastras. And Brahmanishtan is the one who is practicing what he is teaching. One who has studied Shastras thoroughly well, that is Stotran. Stotram means listening. So he has listened to it, and they call it second point is Parampara Guru. Everyone should have 3 paramparas. 3 generational disciple he should have been. So for Shankara's guru is Govinda Bhagavat Pada, and his guru is Gaudapada. For a Brahmanishtan, one who is firmly grounded in that conviction that Aham Brahmasmi, his lifestyle is as per that conviction. There should not be any different. They should be in alignment. What we walk the talk, practice what you preach. They say what you teach. It should be just mere preaching is not going to help. So they both are important. Swatranyan Brahmanishtan. When a disciple goes to such a guru, he gets the divine vision. Sri Krishna gave Arjuna the divine vision. Arjuna asked for it. Teach me, I don't know. He surrendered at chapter 2, verse 7. And Krishna became the guru at that time, chapter 2, verse 11. And gave him the divine vision. That divine vision is called Viveka Chakshuhu, Jnana Chakshuhu, or Avrita Chakshuhu. It is a vision of knowledge. It is not the sight. Sight is using the senses. At that point, one becomes fearless, not afraid of death. And accepting death as an incident, as an event in this ever-changing nature of samsara, with a deep conviction that I am the seer, who is Akanta. Akanta means all pervasive. One alone is. That knowledge, he realizes that knowledge before shedding this body. There's a religious significance of ash. We use in India vibhuti, we apply vibhuti on a daily basis. Vibhuti, ash symbolizes that this body will become ash one day. I am the witness of this body in presence and its absence. I am ever present. And that ash cannot be reduced any further. I am the witness of body and ash, presence and absence. And Shiva's third eye, they call it. The third eye of Shiva, that is dissolution. That it is an aspect of functionality. It is the destroyer of desires, destroyer of ignorance, not the world. Destroyer of ignorance. That is a symbolism. In Sanatana Dharma is a symbolism of all the scriptures. Verse 28. Atma avabhasyati ekaha buddhaihi indriyanihi deepo gatativati swatma jadaihi taihi na avabhasyate. This entire Atma Bodha textbook is a compilation of several Upanishads. Shankara has taken verses from all Upanishads and given us a gist of it. Even in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 17, it says, Jyotisham apitat jyotihi. That is, the sun, moon, fire, lamp cannot show the darkness. There is no need for another light to illumine that light. That Atma is Ekam, one, self-illuminating, and illumines everything. The intellect, the mind, body, universe, everything. Say, for example, there are several parts in a room, and we need one light to illumine them all. But none of them can illumine that light. Anatma cannot reveal the one. All the inert, that is this body, mind, organs, sensors, everything is illumined by that Atma, and none of this can illumine that presence. The very fact that these are anatma, inert objects, they are all functioning, is an expression of that one. They reveal the presence of that Atman. Because this tongue is speaking, the hand is moving, the eyes are watching, that reveals that there is a presence there inside. Without that presence, none of this will function. A dead body, even a dead body cannot express its presence, that's all. Atma is always there, it's ever present. But the bulb is fused, the equipment is failed, electricity is always there. Kathopanishad also mentions in chapter 2, verse 2.15 and Bhagavad Gita 13.17. Na tatra suryo bhati, na tatra chandra tarakam, nemo vidyute bhanti, tameva bhantam anuvadi sarvam. The sun does not shine on its own, nor does the moon, or stars, or lightnings, or fire. The mirror cannot reflect on its own. Something has to fall there. Something has to have that reflection in that one, then only it can show. Atma alone shines and illumines all. None of these have the light of their own. They all shine because of that one supreme presence at the cosmic scale and at the microcosmic level. They all, everything, are leaning on that one. Brahman alone is. Brahman illumines itself and every appearance. Now we go to verse number 29. Sarva bodhena anya bodhecha bodha rupataya atmanaha na deepasya anya deepasya yata swatma prakashane. The emphasis of the same verse 28 is here again. We don't need external light, knowledge to prove I exist. From toddler to now, we look at the old pictures, we know, we recognize. I alone is there, whether I was 3 years or 30 years or 60 years. I alone was there all the time. Because Atma, I, is knowledge itself. The mind, intellect, equipment cannot understand Atman, but they are activated by that inner presence, by its reflection. Say, for example, we have a torchlight or flashlight. We can see everything in the room in a dark background, basement. But to see the battery inside, that torchlight, flashlight will not help. Right? So also our senses cannot know Atman. I cannot see myself through a telescope or a microscope. I can see everything else. A fetus in a mother's womb cannot see the mother unless it comes out as a baby. So also we are all in this samsara, caught by glamour. Won't be able to realize that one unless we come out of this bubble that we are in. And only self-knowledge can help that. That inner present, Atma, is not an object of cognition. I cannot see myself. My eyes can see everything else, but my eyes cannot see myself. Now, how do I know that presence? What is the best way to know that presence, that Atman? Leads to verse 30. Verse 30. Nishidya nikilopadin neti neti iti vakyataha vidyat aikyam mahavakya jivatma paramatmanoho. The only way to know that supreme presence is by the process of negation. Not this, not this. With the help of scriptural statements referred as mahavakyas, the great statements. Remove and filter all anatma. Just like a strainer, we make coffee or tea, and we need to know what needs to be removed. Only when we remove, we get the clear liquid. Same thing. We have to remove what is not needed, what is not truth, what is not necessary. Then you get the gist, you get the Brahman. Say we go to a mall or a store or a bank or somewhere. We finish our work inside and we walk through the glass door by oftentimes. We don't know that there is a glass door. It's so crystal clear glass door. We try to walk through it. But there is a red sticker if they put. That red sticker reflects or points that there is, it reveals, it divulges that there is a glass door. You can't see the glass door because it is so clear, but the red sticker reveals it. So also, these three states, Srishti, Sriti, Layam, waking, dream state, and deep sleep state. This presence, these three states reveal that Atman is there in this body. Otherwise, this body is non-functional. It will not experience waking state, dream state, or deep sleep state. Even in the absence of this, that one is there. In spite of death, dissolution, that one presence is ever present. That alone is. Everything else is an appearance of that one. Aham, idam. That means I and this. Anything that you say this is not you. When I say this hand, it's not me. This is the one that I see. I am not this, I am not that. It's not, the subject cannot be objectified anytime. I am the seer. You are the seer. Tat tvam asi, you are that. Before this self-knowledge, we see the world of plurality, the world of ignorance. Upon gaining self-knowledge, this world is temporary. You realize that this world is temporary, nothing is permanent. Anityam atriptikaram. Temporary, and nothing will give you complete satisfaction, happiness. It is plurality. Every happiness that or pleasure that we enjoy in this universe will have a pain. But that doesn't mean that we should not, we should stop from setting goals and achieving, accomplishing. We have to explore our inner potential as much as possible. Otherwise, people won't do anything. I don't need to do. It becomes a lazy, but as long as the body is taken, one has to be active physically and mentally. But at the same time, recognize that everything is temporary. Brahman and world are one. Cosmic and individual being, microcosmic and macrocosmic. Know, grasp, understand this, that you are that through Mahavakyas. There are 4 Vedas. I will show you later in a PowerPoint also. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Veda. In Rig Veda, they say it Pragyanam Brahma. Yajur Veda is Aham Brahmasmi. Sama Veda is Tat Tvam Asi. Atharva Veda is I am Atma Brahma. We need to be able to isolate, remove all differences. Jiva and Nirguna Brahma, Atman and Nirguna Brahman both are one. Only then you will be able to see that one when you remove all the differences. As long as you use senses, you are going to see multiplicity. That is how all our five senses are programmed. Eyes are programmed to see the difference between maroon and red. Ears from noise to sound. Taste from sweet to salty. That's how they are programmed. As long as you use those and see everything, you are going to see the plurality. But go inside. Say, for example, you meet a friend in your place. After 30, 40 years, suddenly the person studied with you in school in 8th grade. Then you are so happy. You recognize that person and you hug that person, you chat with that person. How do you know it is the same person who was there 30 years ago? 30 years ago, he was different. Today, he is different in physical appearance. The location is different. The time is different. You have eliminated all those to bring that both one. Similarly, everything, there is only one. Atman and Brahman are one. Sarvatra, it's everywhere. That knowledge, if you have a lamp, that lamp's brightness is everywhere. But if you cover it with a pot with holes, that illuminating pot is only temporary, narrowed down, we should say. So also, because we use our perceptions, we use our senses, we have a narrow vision. We don't see the big picture. Now the question is, do I need to remove all anatma to realize that Atman? Why? What would happen if I didn't? Leads to verse number 31. Avidyakam shariradi drishyam budbudadi vat sharam etat vilakshanam vinyat aham brahma iti nirmalam. Body and everything is all avidyakam, meaning they all originated from ignorance. Ignorance says, I don't know who I am. When I don't know that, that is avidya, ignorance. It creates kama, that means desires. Ignorance causes desires. I want something else. I want that because I don't know I am bliss. I'm happiness. So I want something else from outside. So ignorance causes desires. Desires causes action. Now I need to do something to get that action. Actions leads to consequences. Consequences leads to another body. So it's a vicious cycle. Not just one individual, but the entire universe. All are seen different from the seer. These are referred as charam. Charam means that which is perishable, destructible. Drishya means that which is seen, visible, not the subject. Budbudali, but that is water bubbles and foam. They exist in water, they sustain in water, and they dissolve in water for a few minutes without even any trace of existence. So are our bodies. It can be erased out of this planet in a split second. Whether one is a president or one is a homeless. Whether one is 6 years or one is 60 years. Temporary, not permanent. But Atma is different, it's apart from this perishable body. It is the seer of the seen. It is imperishable, ever-present, existent. It is pure, nirmalam, without any negativities or without any gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Without any conditions, nirupadikam, without any conditions. Upadi means a condition. If I have a mirror, I see my reflection, that mirror is a upadi. I am that, not the reflected one. I am not this body, mind, equipment. Any spiritual progress is possible only when we detach from this body, mind, and intellect and 5 layers. That's only possible when we have a greater attachment to the higher. So assert, Aham Brahmasmi, as you reject, I am not this body. Atman is one without a second, without attachment, imperishable, nirvikaram, ever present, nitya, pure without any attachment. If there are any two combined, there is always a chance of separating. Atma is ekam, one. It is existence, consciousness, bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. When we say I am dreaming, it's like I am dreaming that a tiger is chasing me or someone is talking. No need to chase the tiger or that being. Just wake me up. Once the dreamer is awake, there is no looking back, think and analyze the dream. Similarly, once the seeker is fully awake, that this is all dream. The waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, all three are referred as Traiswapnaha. It's a longer dream, that's all. Once you are awakened to this highest knowledge, that person has nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to learn. Krita Krityan, Sanskrit word. He's free from this world. He's not dependent on anything in this world. And he has achieved the purpose of human existence. Atma is ever present, ekam, one alone is. There is no need to even say one, like space. Only when there are two, we have to we should be able to differentiate. Now we have two Vidya in this class, so we can say Vidya and as to differentiate. If there is only one child at home, you don't even have to have a name to call. You can call my dear, my love, whatever you want to say. You don't need another name. So also Brahman. Brahman is only one, without a second. From verse 1 to 30, this is all Shravana, listening. Now 32 to 36 is all Manana, contemplation. It is giving the description of Atma Lakshana. So we can contemplate on that. Verse 32, Deha Anyavat na me janma jara karshya layadayaha saptadi vishayat sango nirindriya daya nacha. Deha Anyavat, that means again, apart from, beyond this physical body. Because Atman is beyond this physical body, it has no birth, it has no old age, it has no depreciation, disintegration, it has no death. When I say I'm coming, the I refers to something that I am not. Shabdam Adi, for that Atman, no tools need to reveal that Atman. No senses can reveal that Atman. It cannot be touched, it has no form, it has no taste, it has no sound, it has no smell. Nirindriya, no connection with any of the senses. No association. Vishayat Sango. We need to keep, first we need to understand intellectually, we have done that 1 to 30, through scriptures and Guru, Mahavakyas, Shankara and Mahavakyas. Now we need to remind ourselves, I am not this body. Only then our attachment with it can reduce and we can develop dispassion. Then meditate on negating that I am negating the I am the body, that statement, negate it. Assert, I am Atma. I have no dimension, no form. I'm not the same, not the gross, visible. I have no modification, I have no association. Anything that is known through 5 senses or direct experience. Paroksha jnana. Atma is aparoksha jnana, which is beyond 5 senses. Meaning it is, you have to realize it beyond intellectual understanding, not by the senses, mind or intellect. It cannot be defined, it cannot be described. undefinable, indescribable. Now verse 33. Amanasatvat na me dukkha raga dvesha bhayatayaha aprano hi amanaha supraha ityadi shruti sasanat. Shruti is scripture, Vedas says amanaha, not the mind. Therefore, na me, I have no connection with the mind. I am not the mind, therefore anything that is in the mind is not me. I am apart from the mind. I have no sadness. I have no pleasures, no likes or no dislikes, no fear. Fear is because of insecurity. I am Purna. I am complete. I am knowledge. I am happiness, bliss. Duality is all Vishayendram, Vishaya, all the other things. These are all of the mind. When I am not the mind, anything of the mind is not mine. It's not me. That which is subject to change is not me. Again, in Mundaka Upanishad also, he says apranaha, that means not the air sheet. Murtaha, formless. Shruti is the pramanam, that is the tool through which we know, we understand, and finally realize. Shankara quotes that Upanishads as reference. See, any kind of knowledge that we want to understand there are 6 modalities. One is through senses. 5 senses, we can understand something. That's called direct experience. Second one is inference. We see the smoke somewhere and we understand that there is a fire just by seeing the smoke. That is inference. Comparison. We bring minerals from Mars and compare with the minerals on the earth. So that is comparison. Cause and effect. We look at the street is wet. That means that there was rain at night. Obvious, right? That is cause and effect. Through negation, by confirming the absence of something. They do the blood test and say, okay, you do not have sugar. Your sugar is controlled. By the absence of something that is another true negation. Scriptures and Guru is the 6th one. You cannot see it, you cannot infer it, you cannot compare it, you cannot see the effect. So the first 5 modality of knowledge cannot be used to understand Atma. Only scriptures and Guru. Only through negation from scriptures and Guru. That is verse 33. Verse 34. Again, it is giving description and the attributes. These are indications because you cannot, Brahman is indefinable, undescribable. So these are features, these are pointers. Say, let me read the verse. Nirguno nishkriyaha nityaha nirvikalpaha niranjanaha nirvikaraha nirakaraha nityamuktaha asmi nirmalaha. Say if you are introducing someone to me, you are saying, oh, that person is 6 feet tall, he always wears glasses, he usually uses mostly in polo shirt, is very cheerful, very positive, drives a red car. Those are all pointers for me to understand that person. So when he comes to my house, I can relate with. So also this Atman, this Nirguna Brahman is explained here. As Nirguna Brahman is talking, I am without attributes. These are 9 adjectives used to describe that inner presence, self, Atman. I am without actions, akarta, abhokta, not the doer, not the enjoyer. I am eternal, nitya, ever present, not affected by any other knowledge. I am knowledge itself. I am knowledge. Without any desires and thoughts, nirvikalpa, cannot be known by mind or intellect. Without dirt, niranjanaha, ekam, like space, not attached to anything. Without change, nirvikaraha, no parts, no birth, no death, no name and no form. Because even Vikaram is change. Now everybody calls me Vijaya, Vijay, but when the Atman, when the body is not functioning, and Atma is not reflected, the name will also dissolve. They will call body. It is a dead body. But Atman is nirvikarha. It doesn't change. It is one always. It's ever liberated. Nitya muktaha. No bondages. Ever pure. Nirmalata. No vasanas, no impressions. All appearances are matter, and all matter have physical and chemical properties. Matter is finite. I, the self, is without properties. I am eternal. As me, I am that Atman. Know that you are that Atman. When I have negated all the superimposed limitations, the one substratum on which everything hangs, all the world of matter hangs, is that one awareness, Asmi, which illumines all thoughts, stands gloriously alone, and I rediscover myself to be that. That is changeless, is the ever, in this ever-changing phenomena, that one changeless, just like gold is in ornaments, clay in pots, waves in ocean, there's only one. The real I that I am is formless and free, eternal, pure, without attributes or any action. This is the big difference between Buddhism and Sanatana Dharma. Buddhism is very close to non-duality. Everything is neti, neti, not this, not this, not this. Nothing is there. Acharya Shankara says, the one who says not this is there. That alone is. That's the difference. In Bhajagovindam, verse 11, there's a verse, Maya mayamitam akilam hitva brahma patam tvam pravisha viditva. The entire universe with all galaxies is Maya, the expression of that, an appearance of that one. The substratum of all that is that Nirguna Brahman. And Shankara refers to all this non-dualists as Advaitins. Brahmavadi. Brahma, they know only Brahman. They know they have negated everything else. Now we go to verse 35. More adjectives to describe that indescribable. Aham akashavat sarvam pahihi andarkate achyudaha sada sarva samaha suddhaha nirsangaha nirmalaha achalaha. All pervasive, inside and outside, not affected by anything like space. Space is not affected whether we have a wedding procession or a funeral procession. Space is not affected. Space has no knowledge, no chaitanyam, no consciousness, whereas Atma is the witness, just like the space. It sees everything. But Atma is knowledge itself. Atma knows the presence and absence. That is Akashavat, that just like the space. Achyudaha, Asangaha. Achyudaha means not attached, unattached. Atma is not attached to any of the three bodies, not affected by any of the three bodies, gross, subtle, and causal. Not connected with anything. It is not dependent on anything. It is independent of everything. Sada sarva samaha. I am same in everywhere and in all beings. I have samadrishti, equanimous, objective viewpoint. Shuddhaha. Pure. Shuddhaha, pure, not stained, no gunas, no avidya, not attached, unaffected, ekam, one without a second, substratum of all. Nirmalaha, no impurities. Achalaha, immovable. Only incomplete can move, like a pendulum. I am full, complete, purnam in everything. I alone is. We finish one more 36 and then stop here. Verse 36, Nitya Shuddha Vimukta Ekam Akantanandam Avyayam Satyam Jnanamanantam Yat Para Brahmo Aham Evatat. Verse 1 to 30 is all about Shravana, Guru's effort to teach what Atma is. 32 to 36 is seeker's effort, contemplation, self-reflection, self-assessment. Where am I? What am I doing? How can I improve myself? That is 32, 36. That's where I want to stop at 36. Self is ever existence. The isness, anything that is self, that consciousness. Chit, Chaitanyam, knowledge. It is pure, it is awareness, doesn't cease to exist, no birth, no death, not attached to anything. It is ekam, only one, limitless, without any modification. All our pain and pleasure, joy and sorrow have a beginning and end. But the self is akanta. Kantam means division, divisible, division. Akantam means indivisible. From that akandam came continent word from Sanskrit. Self, inner presence, Atman itself is knowledge, not knowing of something. That self, inner presence, Atman itself is awareness, not aware of something. That itself is happiness, not happy because of something. People often ask, why are you happy? There's no reason to be happy. I am always happiness. You can say, why are you sad? What is bothering you? But why are you happy? I am always happy. It's happiness. That is my nature. Constant, consistent, regular awareness and practice is jnana abhyasa. One who realizes I am that is no longer in bondage. Nothing can shake that person. A realized one knows that I am ever-present witness, and everything around me is a play, is a drama. And I'm not disturbed, hurt, or elated by anything that is happening. That is what we call it Krishna Leela, or Nataraja's dance. Everything is activated. Now let me show you a PowerPoint slide, and then we will end with that. This is samsara. This is our life. Just like the hamster is going through this cage, the cycle of birth and death, birth and death, not knowing why we are here, what we are here. Our human purpose, the purpose of human existence is to realize the self. I am that. Everything around me is a drama. Nothing should bother me. Nothing should affect me. Nothing should disturb me. Everything is in my mind. My mind is my friend and my enemy. What I feed is the problem. That's what it is. It's a rat race. Otherwise, we are throughout in our life, we fight with other things. There is always a resistance. When we do that, we are not in peace. This is, I am Sarva Shaktiman. I have all the power. I am all powerful. I can do anything I want. But when I see through this, the limited perception. Every being has a limited perception. We have to see the bigger picture. Not get affected by any of those. This is verse 30, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, Veda, and this is 4 Mahavakyas, Prajnanam Brahma. Second one is Aham Brahmasmi. Third one is Tattvamasi. Fourth one is I am Atma Brahma. I'll send this to you in the group. Atma is Achalam. Only pendulum can move from here to here because it has got room here. Atma is all pervasive, everywhere, in everything. How can it move? That's why it is referred as Achalam. Now let me end, and then we can spend 5 minutes to any thoughts, to share thoughts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Can all unmute and then